All right, welcome to episode 1 of Quick Tips. I'm just going to call them Quick Tips. I might change it. I have no idea, but I had this idea and I have no others yet. So hopefully there'll be more. But basically, all I wanted to do is talk about how I process my 808s because I've been working with 808s a long time and they used to kind of suck. And now they're a lot better. I didn't really realize until about 3 days ago that I basically use the same thing all the time. So I made a little audio chain and I slapped in the 3 plugins that I typically use with it. So I want to go ahead and open up Ableton here. And I actually showed this project on my Instagram, just like a sample of me remixing it down. I think I wrote this 3 years ago. I wrote it back when I was still in Phoenix, never put it out. Want to do it, but I figured I'd show you this as well. So here's just the track. I guess I just kick with it. And babe, I think of all those times I wish I probably did. And then you got my friend, now going by Future Bombs. He's just starting a new project, but this is him.
Stop, drop, and gobble this. Pretend you have no hands and it's a lollipop. So I slid in the back door. She's telling me she wants some more.
You get the point. We're here to actually see what the hell's going on with this 808. So I have a top layer on it. I don't typically do that, but on this one I did, I guess. I don't know. I wrote this a long time ago, so I didn't want to change it. But basically, if we go here, there's really nothing on here. It's just the sampler, a simpler or a sampler with Sunny D Kick. I will talk about Splice after because I am a massive fanboy of Splice. And then after that, like we have our little audio chain here. But before I remix this down, because I made this so long ago, I didn't have this on here. And it really just didn't hit like it should. So if I play it without it on. I guess I just kick with it. And babe, I think of all those times I wish I probably did. That's from a lot of 808s. Like you can get like really nice ones, but typically still they're kind of flabby. Like they just don't have that smack. And like that's the point. I'm trying to make some 808s smack, am I right? So what I do, and these are the 3 plugins I mainly use. If you use Ableton, unfortunately, I mean, you can buy Cytomics. I think Glue Compressor, if you really want to get it. I feel like any compressor really would work. Just, I use the standard bass punch and adjust the threshold. That is all I do. I haven't even set this up. It's just worked out that way. And then I use Driver. This is kind of the bread and butter to how this works. It's, at least from my understanding, I mean, it's a filter with a distortion built in, and it gets pretty nuts with what it can do. So if we at least just turn on the Driver, we'll hear the difference. I'll turn the bass punch off. And so here's without. This is a super nice 808, but let's put on the Driver. Yeah, now it really smacks because we want our 808s to smack. Like you want it to hit hard. And after that, I really just throw a bass punch on and it'll just get the volume up, flatten it a little bit more. Like that's the thing with 808s too. They kind of need to be smashed a little bit to sound good in a mix. Otherwise they kind of they don't punch because they fall off too quickly. So if we play it now, and one more time without this, it doesn't do a huge difference. It's just, I actually turned down the threshold quite a bit on this, but it still adds a little bit of something. And then after, all I do is I put only a 20 hertz cut on this. Probably the 30 took off too much at the low end because I already have a cut here at 30 anyways. So that's really it. That's the chain. And it's super simple. And I honestly use this on pretty much all my 808s now. If you don't have Driver, it does come with a Native Instruments bundle. I highly recommend it. I use it not just on 808s. I think I made a post. I made a post tonight. I kind of tend to use like 4 plugins mainly. I feel like 90% of the time. Reverb by Waves, Driver, EQ, and then compressors. And I just shape my sounds that way. Like I like distortion. And one more thing about the EQ that is like really important. On this one, I didn't have to do it, but a lot of times, and especially when I start using Driver and stuff on like distortion stuff on other types of sounds, you really want to get in there and get out those nasty resonant frequencies because they can take a lot of space up in your mix. Everyone's different. This one just didn't need it. Typically, I do at least pull some stuff out. Like that's not that bad. Yeah, there's really nothing in this one that I'd pull out. So that's basically the setup. And Yeah, that's it. Like I said, this was supposed to be a quick tip. I didn't want this to be long at all. One other thing I do want to talk about is all right, driver. So it does come with the bundle complete. I'd probably say get the complete bundle, but if not, if you don't have the money right now and you really do want to get this distortion plugin, I have like Trash and other plugins too. I personally think Driver, like that's my favorite one. It is $50, a little pricey, but it is October, so it'll probably go on sale in November during Black Friday, so you might want to wait for that too. And then back to Splice. So we all want 808s at Smack. If you don't have Splice, get Splice. It's at least I don't remember. I haven't checked lately, but I think it's $7.99 a month for 100 samples a month. I religiously use Splice. It is the best investment you will ever make for music beyond any plugin you ever buy. Just do it. But the cool thing is like if you do make your 808s, don't be a masochist. Just stop. Just get Splice for $8 a month because if you go to 808s, you can go buy key, anything you want. And I mean, look at this. There's endless. And there's 199 pages of this. You don't ever need to make an 808 ever again. You just got to make it fat once you find the one you want. So that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and one other thing. The Sunny D kick and his sample pack, his 808, is just, I just got to do a shout out to that guy because I honestly use almost exclusively the Sunny D 808s and I use a lot of stuff from his pack. So definitely get on that. And oh, one more thing before I forget. To make your 808 smack a little bit harder, I usually do this on my tower, so that might be Kramer tape. I do use that a lot too. That's maybe the 5th plugin I use quite a bit because it does give a nice, it's very subtle, but it gives a little bit of an analog sound. I know it sounds cliche, but I like the wobble feature. It throws everything off and makes it feel more natural, like it was made on a tape machine. And I do use it a little bit for compression. But the other thing that I really like to do, wow, I have a bunch of other crap on here, is I tend to sidechain the 808 because they all have like kind of kicks to them, but you have to layer another kick into it. It just doesn't smack hard enough if you don't. But when you do put that other kick in there at the same time, if you don't have a sidechain on it, it's just gonna, they get muddy and they fight for the space. So if I bring this, here, let's just listen to it without the kick again. Now let's bring the kick in. Now it hits. And for this track specifically, normally my kicks now kind of go to the 808 rhythm, but this is old. So what I did was made a ghost track, and I don't want the sidechain to hit in the middle of an 808. So I basically just took the track, did a send only, so it doesn't actually send out audio, it just sends signal. And I routed my sidechain compressor to the 808 with the ghost kick so that it only ducks it when the kick's hitting with the same kick starting point as the 808. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and probably do some more of these on Instagram because it's way easy. They're super quick, and I'll be doing long form content on YouTube. So yeah, keep an eye out. Until next time.